Hey, what's going on, guys? It's your boy, Nerd Mode On, and in this particular video, I wanted to showcase to you guys my Battlefield 4 stats. As many of you guys are probably aware, I have definitely been trying to get to max level for the last couple of days. I haven't put as much time as maybe I should have right off the bat, but I'm pretty pleased to say that I did achieve max level before I thought I would, and I think that's pretty exciting by itself, so hopefully you guys will enjoy. But with that in mind, guys, kind of jumping into the rank just to give you guys that standardized disclaimer as to all videos that are imposed for max level. You guys can clearly see that the level 110 emblem is displayed, followed by the rank right there. You guys can also take note that the XP bar is completely filled with the orange/yellow kind of gradient that is going on there, followed by there is no XP to be achieved or my current XP that it's wanting me to display. So, thought I'd give you guys that standardized thing. Most of you guys are pretty notorious when it comes to the Battlefield side, but if you've never really hit max level, you don't really know what you're looking for, so that's not a problem. I just thought I'd give you guys some information. So jumping into the more statistic information, you guys can kind of see my skill level is about 480, which has definitely been improving over the last couple of months. I think it's pretty good considering that I did transfer from the console side of it to the PC master race, if you will. And with that in mind, of course, the transformation was definitely difficult starting things off, but that's not to say that I didn't dump a good amount of time into Battlefield 3 before making the transformation to PC side of it for the Battlefield 4 side. So, I definitely do have some experience with the keyboard and mouse, but maybe not as much as some of you guys that have been doing it for 5 or 10 years or however long you've been playing PC games. So, I'm definitely still a little, maybe not perfectant at the PC side, but I'm definitely above par when it comes to being able to kill the oppositional player in the least amount of bullets required. So, with that in mind, jumping into the more important statistic for me personally, not all of you guys will agree with this, that's perfectly fine, but I find that KD is a good way to gauge yourself, followed by I think it means something a lot more than players give credit to. A lot of the people that say that it doesn't matter normally don't have the best stats. Maybe that's for a variety of reasons, but, you know, that's an opinion. I can't force you guys to agree with my statement, but I am impressed where I'm at, and I've just been playing the game as, you know, the Battlefield community suggests, you know, playing the objective and doing everything you can to win. It just comes along with great statistics and happens to come with a pretty good KDR along the way, so I'm satisfied in that account. So, as you guys have probably taken note, 2.77 KDR, which is definitely above average considering that a standardized average KD is about 1. So I'm about almost 2.77 into it, so definitely doing pretty well. So, score per minute, I am 1,273, which is still pretty good. PC side's a little bit skewed considering that there is more XP per hour in comparison to maybe the last year's gen, considering that next gen does have the 64 capabilities, but you guys understand my flow on that one. To kind of give you guys a disclaimer to my score per minute, I'd like to let you know really quick that it is a little weighted. There was a premium double XP about a week ago, so that definitely did do a lot of great things for my score per minute. Also, I did use a lot of 200% to try to achieve max level as quick as possible. But on average, you know, even when I'm just using maybe 25% boosters or no booster at all, it usually seems to sit around 900 to 1000 score per minute. So not too weighted, but there is a little bit of a cushion there that needs to be diminished in some accounts to give you guys a more accurate representation of how I normally accumulate points. So just thought I'd let you guys know that. Jumping into the next thing, you guys have probably noticed that I do have a 0.9 kills per minute, which is, I guess, pretty average on a normal consistency. You know, I do kill quite a bit, but I'm also not just running into their spawn. I'm also not shooting them in their spawn, maybe as consistently as a Bipod Pro user. But on average, I do kill a pretty good amount of people per minute, I guess, and I'm pretty satisfied with that overall stat. It could definitely be better, but, you know, as I continually play different maps, as I continually play different game modes, it kind of degrades over time, as you would expect. My overall kills is 7,398, which is pretty consistent with my level, followed by my score being 10,413,482. So, definitely pretty good. If you guys were to look at Battlefield 3, it did take about 25 million XP to achieve max level, so it's definitely a little different in comparison to the previous installation of the Battlefield series. It's a little easier to achieve max rank, but I definitely am pretty impressed overall with how the game played, and overall my experiences with the game. My overall time played is 136 hours and 16 minutes. That's pretty average, I guess, for most players, but I'm sure some of you MLG pros out there probably got it a little faster than I did. I know when the game first came out, there were a handful of people that did achieve the level 100 or max level at the time within a week. So I'm sure some of you guys have been max level for a good amount of time, but I'm just now hitting it with the multitude of games that I consistently play, followed by the different platforms I do have at my disposal to also play as well. So I'm pretty satisfied. I've just been a little busy, I guess, with other games as well along the way. So as you guys can kind of generically look at this other information that's a little bit less important overall, but it still imposes some kind of importance to some of you guys, I do definitely play the assault category the most. I find it to be one of the more important ones. I do like to be a medic, and I do my best to try not to Rambo revive. I normally give people around 50 to 100% health, but occasionally I do have to give them the 20 and just cross my fingers that they don't get sniped in the face. But I do my best to do what I can. I'm not too much of an engineer player. Most of you guys know I only play Operation Locker for a variety of reasons. I like constant action, and I find it to be a little bit more fun, and the stupidity of some players is just amusing at some accounts. I don't play recon, considering that I don't camp in the hills. I like to play the objective, and I just don't find that class to be useful in the Battlefield series by itself. But I can't say, I guess, in some accounts that it doesn't impose some point of an importance to the Battlefield community. It's just not my cup of tea. I like to play the objective, and that's how I've always been wired. So, the recon class just does not fit me. Support, I mainly only use it for, trying to get ammunition and just trying to level up the kit by itself. And that's pretty much about it for that. I'll give you guys just this little play button you guys can kind of watch as things progress onward, so you guys can kind of see my stats, change by a small variety, but overall it does show you guys that, I have definitely evolved over time. So let's start things off. So overall, you guys have probably noticed that the numbers were kind of dwindling a little bit. They were kind of going up, which is always a good thing. But overall, I've definitely improved from the very beginning of the game on release to the end of the game where I'm currently at, if you were to talk about statistics, of course. So kind of scrolling down, you guys will be able to see some of the, again, less important information, but it kind of just gives you some small information. I do kind of enjoy the Ace-23. I know I bitch about it sometimes, especially in games. If you guys have played with me, that's a gun that consistently gets brought up as a debate in my videos. But, when it comes to YouTube side of the videos, you guys don't really get to see that stuff because I edit it out at an extreme rate. But overall, I do use the Ace-23 from time to time, but don't worry, I do use a multitude of different weapons. I'm not just an Ace-23 whore, otherwise I'd have approximately 7.4 thousand kills with it. So, bear with me, I'm not just a scrubby McDubby in some accounts. I do use different weapons. I do enjoy the attack helicopter. It's probably my favorite vehicle in the game, as you guys can probably see as it lists right there. But I do find the tank to be my second favorite, and overall I find that to be a good experience. I'm ranked number 1 for the top leaderboards in a variety of different circumstances, which is always appealing. And in most cases I seem to be in the top 5% of players in a multitude of different categories. So I'm definitely, I guess, pretty skilled in that department. I'm pretty satisfied, but I'm also not the best player in the world, so don't let me try to fool you by any account. As you guys have probably taken note, Conquest is my favorite game mode. In particular, Conquest Large, considering that I do like to, get some kills. I like to feed off the free points that are constantly laying on the ground, and all the good things that the Battlefield series has to offer. But with that in mind, of course, Obliteration is probably my second favorite game mode, as you guys can probably see there. I haven't really played Rush. I think I played one game of it. The game never got finished. So I don't really know how I have so much XP for only playing one game, but I guess I can't complain. XP is still XP in the end-all be-all result. So of course you guys have probably seen a little bit of this information, nothing really too important. I don't really go for a whole lot of stuff. I just kind of play the game, cross my fingers that everything works out, and overall this kind of just gives you some generic information about what do I like to unlock, do I run around and do particular actions, do I like to play field orders, all that good stuff. But overall, over time I imagine these will probably equal out and be finalized as we progress through the ranks. So kind of going to the next important page, this kind of just gives you guys the idea of the weapons I like to use. You guys have probably noticed that my two top favorite weapons are the most controversial weapons, but bear with me, the first month of the game I used the M416 pretty much like it was my religion. It was my favorite weapon in the game, and I found it to be the best weapon by a landslide. But over time, I realized that people didn't want to see the best weapon being used, so I decided to kind of push it away and use different weapons. So hopefully you guys will understand, but I don't really use these two guns as much as maybe some of the other YouTubers use them, but overall, that's not a problem. I find them to be pretty good guns overall, and they seem to be pretty accurate when you play against other players, so they're definitely good guns by themselves. Considering that I do play a lot of Operation Locker, I am kind of a grenade person, but I don't just spam grenades. You know, I try to kill people that are in cover. I use grenades what they're meant to be used for. So don't imagine that I'm a support whore throwing grenades like it's my job. I'm not the end-all be-all result when it comes down to the issues that Battlefield 4 has to offer when it comes to Operation Locker. I just use grenades when they need to be used. So, you know, I just thought I'd let you guys know. As you guys have probably taken note that I do use a variety of different weapons. I pretty much have a good amount of kills overall. Of course, as we scroll down, my kills get lower and lower because I haven't used every gun in the game. There's a lot of guns I haven't even touched. And just kind of giving you guys showcasings, you know, there's a lot of guns I haven't even touched. I don't use the mortar. I don't do any of that spammy crap. I don't use particular weapons because I don't really play every map in the game. But as you guys have probably taken note, I don't snipe either, which is not hard to believe considering that you guys have probably noticed that my passion for the sniper role is pretty prominent in all my videos, followed by the amount of kills I have. So, you know, it's pretty, I guess, noticeable that I don't snipe. But scrolling back up, of course, to kind of give you guys a better idea when it comes down to the vehicles, you know, I do like these particular vehicles quite a bit. I do have a good amount of kills overall with them, but as we scroll down, of course, you know, I don't use a whole lot of jets, and I'm not really too prominent with some of the other things that Battlefield has to offer, but of course, I do try different things out from time to time. Going over to the details department, you guys are going to quickly find a slew of different information kind of letting you guys know. So I'll let you guys stop the video if you want to. Check out whatever stats look important, but overall, you guys can probably take a pretty good idea of what kind of a player I am, and overall, there's not a whole lot to discuss when it comes down to this particular page. So, jumping into the unlock tree, you guys will notice that I have a majority of the assault rifles. I'm just too lazy to go do the assignment to unlock a lot of the DLC weapons. I'll get around to them someday, but quite frankly, there's enough guns in the game to the point where I don't really care. So, you know, I do have a multitude of different weapons to work on, and I've been trying new things out as we progress. Going into the carbine section, same story. Just haven't wanted to unlock it. Don't really care for it. I'm sure it's a great weapon, but I just haven't given it the time of day yet. Shotguns, I'm not a shotgun whore. I don't like people that use it on Operation Locker. I think that's probably the most pathetic thing in the game, but you can play the game how you so like, and I guess I'll just complain and edit the videos as I seem to do quite often. So, I don't really use shotguns, LMGs, these were kind of annoying by themselves, but I did unlock them as we progressed through, of course. This one I unlocked randomly without even knowing how to unlock it, so that's always a lot of fun. Personal defense weapons, of course, again, same story with the UMP9, just got to get around to unlocking it sometime, but overall, you guys have probably taken note that I do not use DMRs, and that's for a multitude of reasons, of course. The most prominent one is that they kind of sucked pre-patch, but I'm sure since the shortcut's going to be coming out here soon for the Player Appreciation Month that we're currently in, I imagine they'll just all magically be unlocked by themselves, which is always exciting. The main reason I have even some of these snipers unlocked is because I like to pick up the Battle Pickup, which is the one-shot sniper rifle, which is probably the most entertaining weapon I've used in quite some time, and I find it to be very fun. I've gotten a lot of quad feeds and all that good stuff if you're into that kind of portrayal of a weapon, but you know, that's the main reason I even have any of these unlocked, but I don't ever think I'll get around to ever playing with a sniper rifle. I just like to play the objective a little bit more than sitting in a hill. Pistols, I don't play pistol-only servers, but you know, I've just been unlocking these as time progresses, of course, which is always exciting when I need to pop out my pistol and definitely give them a couple of shots to the face. Grenades, I have these unlocked with no time. I'm sure all of you guys have them as well. They don't really require a whole lot of skill to unlock. You just got to spam a lot of grenades, and over time, you'll unlock them as you see fit. And finally, the knives. The Scout, I haven't quite gotten this one yet. I'm hoping that it'll come around someday, but overall, I have everything else that I need so far, which is always exciting. So, kind of scrolling back up, of course, to give you guys the vehicle portrayal as well. I have pretty much everything unlocked for this except for jets. I'm not really a jet player, as you guys have probably noticed from the incapabilities of me uploading videos of it. But from time to time, I do like to try my luck with you PC veterans out there, but you guys seem to just destroy me every time. So, you know, I just try to stay out of the vehicle as much as possible. Of course, most of this stuff is unlocked considering that I do use, you know, most of the classes. Again, Recon, not really my cup of tea. I don't really like to camp, so it's not really my kind of a class. So I guess that's just kind of how I stand. Maybe someday I'll go around to putting on a carbine, but at the moment, it's not really something I'm interested in. I just like the objective a little bit more than, you know, laying on the ground and shooting at nothing. So that's always fun. So of course, kind of skipping over loadout, that doesn't really have anything important. You guys can kind of take a look at how I'm unlocking this stuff pretty well. I guess over time, of course, once I start to really focus heavily on unlocking these, they'll come a lot faster than they have been coming already. And again, kind of going over rewards, you guys can kind of see how kind of a player I am, what do I commonly unlock, and how do I play the game. Pretty prominent information here, nothing too out of the ordinary. Followed by most of this stuff is pretty easy to accomplish on a day-to-day basis, so really not a whole lot to discuss there, but I thought I'd show you guys. And finally, I do not currently have any battle packs, which is always exciting, but I have definitely unlocked way too damn many over the last 110 levels, which is always fun. So anyway, guys, that's pretty much my video for you guys. You guys can kind of see my emblem there and my recon player, which is kind of ironic in some accounts, but I do enjoy the picture a lot more, and I kind of stole this picture off of a website, but I thought it was pretty awesome, and I thought it really gave relation to me commonly dying and coming back to, kill you quite often as well. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. I will see you guys in the next installment. This is NMO, and I'm going to be signing out, guys. Peace.